Hi and welcome to my channel. So the NHS, which is the National Health Service in the UK, is currently accepting people for volunteering opportunities. So the NHS also recruits for this. This is something that it gives you access to world-class facilities and exposure, but it also significantly increases your chances of getting permanent positions within the NHS. And that is why I thought, look, I gotta share this with you so that you're aware. And so in today's video, I'm gonna share 4 different ways that you can get volunteering opportunities with the NHS in the UK. I'm also going to talk about visa sponsorship, which ones offer visa sponsorship, but most importantly, how do you go about it? So if you're new to my channel, you're welcome. If you haven't joined this family, hit the subscribe button below because you want to be the first person that is notified when I drop a new video on here. I'm somebody that I'm very enthusiastic about the best opportunities to relocate to the UK with visa sponsorship, but most importantly, career progression in the UK. Now you're in this country, what else can you do with your amazing self so that you don't only maximize the best opportunities that this country has to offer, but that you progress in your career so that you can eventually earn a lot of money, work less, and get to retire early. And so that's what this channel is all about. That is really what I'm all about. So if you need to make sure that you don't miss out on any of these opportunities, check the comment section below. You're going to see my free newsletter. I send that information about visa sponsorship jobs in the UK, opportunities to relocate to the UK, career progression opportunities in the UK, as well as, any changes and updates that are going on directly to your inbox. So check the comment section below. It's free to join. You drop your name and email address and you're part of it. You're also going to see my contact details on there. That's my email address as well as my WhatsApp number. If you're thinking, Melvis, I need support with my personal circumstances, I need you to go through my CV, my NHS application, I need a permanent job, I need visa sponsorship, I need to switch, I'm already in the UK on a dependent visa or working for a private company, and you don't want the instability that comes with messing around with these private companies, the NHS, I tell you, is the key. So you can contact me to talk about your specific circumstances because that's what this is all about. And please share this video with your friends, loved ones, colleagues so that they're aware that they can get volunteering opportunities with the NHS, but most importantly, that the NHS has permanent positions and they will remain the most reliable way to currently be in the UK working. Because as you know, the UK government is on a mission to fish out thousands, if not millions of people to get deported. So if you're watching this, whether you're in the UK already or you're still out of this amazing country, then you need to watch this video till the very end. And by the way, drop a comment in the comment section below. Which country are you watching from at the moment? Where are you based? So drop that in the comment section because I just love to know, who is watching these videos, where you are, so that I can share content that is really tailored to your individual needs and that is helpful and relevant to help you support and just achieve your goals. So volunteering jobs, does the NHS recruit volunteers? So the answer is yes, absolutely. In recent times, I have received lots of emails from people asking, Melvis, what about these volunteering jobs? Can I do them with the NHS? I also know thousands of people that have recently relocated to the UK through the volunteering visa or the charity worker visa. And as you know, this is a very challenging visa, but I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty now because I'm focusing obviously on the NHS, which is the National Health Service in the UK. So the first thing is there are 4 different ways. The first way is you can get access to the NHS as a volunteer through another organization. So when I say another organization, I mean, for example, if you're studying with a particular organization, for example, you're doing your NVQ or you're doing your BTech or you're doing a diploma or an access course or things like that, it is an amazing opportunity for you to speak to your tutors and say, can I gain exposure to the NHS? Look, many of us don't get the best opportunities because we don't ask. And let me tell you something, in the UK, if you don't ask, you will not have. And if you're new here, by the way, and this is our first time meeting, obviously my name is Melvis. I am an advanced nurse practitioner here in the UK. I started my UK journey 13 years ago as a carer in a nursing home. I then studied nursing. I've got a first class degree in adult nursing. I've gone on to do a master's in, mentorship in nursing. I have also got a master's in advanced clinical practice. So I've studied in the last, 13 years that I've been in the UK, working and studying at the same time. And the best thing is, I didn't pay anything for both of my master's courses. And in fact, for my last master's, I was paid over £50,000 per year by the NHS to work and study. And they also paid my tuition fees. Why am I talking about all of this? Because this is what's possible in the UK. Many of us are not aware of these opportunities. Many of us want to relocate to the UK or are already in the UK, but we're not maximizing these opportunities. And that's why I'm on a mission to make sure that you don't only get to this country, but actually it is worthwhile. Because many of us have sold property, we've sold land, we've taken debts, we've taken loans to be able to get to this country. Please make that worthwhile. Make it worthwhile. That's why I share my own journey as well with you. So that's why I'm talking about this, because I'm very passionate about these opportunities, the NHS. I have extensive knowledge, experience, about these NHS opportunities. And that's why there are very reputable organizations in the UK, the Nursing Times. You've got NHS hospitals and organizations. They pay me to come to their events to be able to support their staff and give talks and things like that about career progression and opportunities that are available, because it is something that is a challenge for many workers in the UK. And that's why I am in the position to tell you about these opportunities. So that's the first way they can get to the NHS. The second way, by the way, and like I said, please share this with your loved ones, your kids as well, because these opportunities involve your kids. With this first one that I've spoken about, obviously, if your child is doing a diploma, say in college, they can gain access to the NHS. This is something that it links up beautifully with the next pathway that I'm going to talk about. And this particular one is applying as a student. Many people do not know, but guess what? If you're studying in the UK, let's say you've got 16, 17-year-olds that are in college, or in school normally, they can get access to the NHS from their school. This is a top tip that I'm going to share with you that many people are not aware, but the smartest people in this country, that's how they get into the top universities, but also some of the best opportunities like medicine. As you know, becoming a doctor is one of the most prestigious jobs and professions and occupations in the world. No doubt about that. But it's very competitive, and you really need to step up your game to stand any chances of success. So what many people do is that their kids, they go through the school when they're studying. Obviously, these ones have to be in the UK. I'm going to talk next about the people who are overseas, because you can also do this opportunity. So you go through the school and then you come to the NHS. In fact, I've personally supported so many children, young people, through this pathway. So what they do is you go through the school to say you want to have work experience with the NHS. They do weekends, during school holidays, during summer holidays, and they come with us, to work with us, to observe. Not working, they're just observing. And they call them clinical attachment in some areas, they call them clinical observers in some areas, but they're just there too. They're not doing any work, they're just observing, and you're explaining to them. And so when they're applying to those top universities, to those courses such as medicine, nursing, and all of that, they put this in their portfolio. And let me tell you something, it makes a massive difference, because there are some people that come for that clinical attachment and they think, look, this is just not for me. Hospital environments are not for me. Other people come and they're like, hey, I was thinking of doing nursing, but I've worked with a pharmacist, I've seen a pharmacist, and I think I really would love to get into pharmacy. Other people come and they're like, hey, I want to get into medicine, but then they see nursing and they're like, Melvis, I think I would rather get into nursing. So that's why it is so important. And when you're also applying and you put that in your application, it looks absolutely amazing, because guess what? It counts as work experience. And that's why you see that there are some opportunities that they put there and they're like, hey, it's entry level, but you need to have 2 years of experience. And people are like, what? How do I get 2 years of experience? Well, let me tell you, there are people such as the people I'm talking about in today's video that are coming with us, working with us, observing us, and we are signing things for them that are going to use in their portfolio. So it's not for free. When you come in, there are things that we need to sign to say XYZ person was here, they observed XYZ, and this is how they were, da, 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 da. And so when they're applying for those opportunities, they put them in the profile and the application, and it just looks absolutely amazing. So if you're enjoying this content, by the way, you've got any questions, leave those in the comment section below, because we're currently talking about volunteering opportunities in the NHS, so that they give you access to the world-class facilities, give you exposure, but it significantly increases your chances of getting permanent NHS jobs as well. So the third pathway is that you can apply directly from overseas. Yes. So if you're overseas, you can also apply to come and volunteer in the UK with the NHS. So with this particular thing, they do provide a visa for this. So it is a visit visa, but it's not a normal visit visa that is for tourism. This visitor visa allows you to work in the UK as a volunteer, but the only difference is that you're not being paid. You cannot come and say you're going to do 20 hours there. You cannot do this. It doesn't work work that way, which means you're going to need proof of funds for this particular opportunity. But yes, they do offer visa sponsorship to people that are overseas. I have personally supported hundreds of people to come to the UK through this opportunity. I'm going to be very honest with you and say this is not an opportunity for somebody who is broke, for somebody who doesn't have money. Because, like I said, you need proof of funds. You need to show evidence of where you're going to stay. At the time that you're coming to the UK, you're going to show evidence of your, like your earnings or however you're going to support yourself and all of that. So it is very important that you're aware. So drop a comment in the comment section and say proof of funds, because yes, you do need proof of funds. And this is not a normal standard tourist visa, but it is a special visa that allows you to work in the UK, even though it's a visitor visa. So these are some of the things I want to think about. And how this works, by the way, if you're wondering, is let's say, for example, you're a nurse, you're studying in any country out of the UK, and you want to come and get work experience with the NHS. You can apply directly. You need to apply from your home country before you get to the UK. So when you apply directly as a volunteer and all of that, it's got its own pathway. If you want me to do a separate video on this particular pathway, drop a comment in the comment section and say overseas candidate. When I see the word overseas candidate in the comment section, then I'll do a video exclusively about this particular opportunity. But how it works, long story short, is that you apply directly for this. It goes on application process. And then once you get accepted to the opportunity, you then take that to the embassy and you get a visa. It's really simple, but like I say, you need money to be able to do this. And so when you come to the UK, this visa can also be extended. That's the good thing. You can extend the visa in the UK for an additional 6 months if you need to stay longer, which is absolutely brilliant for the right person, like I said. So this is how it works. You come from overseas, you get visa sponsorship specific for this opportunity. And that helps you. Imagine that when you go back home, for example, if you've got 6 months of experience with the NHS or 1 year of experience, that's going to put you in a huge advantage compared to other people overseas that have never stepped foot in the UK. Again, I'm not sat here saying, this is how you need to come to the UK to get a job. No, I have a private career coaching program where I personally support people from overseas to come to the UK on permanent visas directly. They've never been to the UK. They've never done any of these pathways. I'm only sharing this as another way for those people who can afford it. You know what I mean? Because some people just want exposure. Some people have got their pharmacies back home or healthcare facilities and just want to see what's going on here. You know what I mean? There are lots of reasons why somebody would come for this opportunity, but that's the way it works. And like I said, if you drop a comment in the comment section saying overseas candidate, then I'll do a video exclusively on this to be able to provide more details. And by the way, when I was talking about my private coaching program, if you're keen and you think, Melvis, I'm part of the top 1%, I want to know more about this coaching program. Can it support me? What is in this for me? Is it even right for me? If you check the description box below or the about section of this channel, you're going to see more information about it. But I'm going to warn you, my private coaching program is not for everybody. It's only for those who, one, can afford it, and two, they have their, how do I put it, they're willing to do the work, because there is work to be done. Because when you join, I'll support you with these opportunities. For example, go through your CV, qualifications, experiences. What are the best opportunities for you in the UK? What employers are recruiting for that? What do they need? How do you position yourself for success? What about the interview questions, interview preparation? How are you expected to respond to that? The associated visas, career progression pathways, and every single thing that comes with it. You're already in the UK looking to switch. Perfect. We go through all of that. You're looking for free nursing courses, midwifery courses, social worker courses, so you can get paid to work and study in the UK to progress without paying tuition fees. Like I said, both of my masters, I didn't pay any fees. Again, I can support you with all of that, but you need to be ready to do the work, because career progression doesn't come from nothing. It comes from hard work, dedication, competence, and most importantly, confidence. So if you're keen, check the description box below, as I said, or the about section of this channel, and you'll see more information about that. Or you can just contact me. Check the comment section. It's got my WhatsApp number and my email address, and you can contact me after watching this video. Obviously, if you want to talk, one-to-one about your circumstances and what is in this for you, if you've got any questions, I'm always happy and welcome to have those questions. So option number 3, so as you can see, obviously you can get visa sponsorship to come to the UK as a volunteer. So the answer is yes. If you were doubting, the NHS does recruit for this, and it's a special pathway, but you can get visa sponsorship to come to the UK through this. Option number 4, remember I had said there were going to be 4 different ways, you can just apply directly. The NHS has jobs that they advertise that are actually volunteering jobs, so you can just apply directly on the NHS website for this. So how does this work, and how do you ensure that your application is successful? Again, while you're watching this, by the way, if you've got any questions, any concerns, please do me a favor and leave those in the comment section below. If you also want me to do a live session, to talk more about these opportunities, about, what they need, the nitty gritty and all of that, please drop a comment in the comment section below and say live tutorial. When I see the word live tutorial, I know that you would appreciate us to do a live session together where we can interact, ask questions and all of that to be able to talk more. But if you're currently a member of my private coaching program, we do have live sessions every week on Thursdays. Those live sessions are very enriching. They're all recorded. They're for members only, only the members of my private coaching program. They pay to be in the program. It is not free. I like to make this very clear, very plain, so that you're aware that there is a cost associated to this. I mean, it's a small cost. Well, it depends on your circumstances, but there is a cost associated, so that it's not possible to just say, hey, anybody and everybody pop in. I mean, that doesn't work. And like I always say, if you try to help everybody, you end up helping nobody, because I'm all about commitment, I'm all about dedication, and I'm all about consistency. So like I said, if you need to contact me, obviously check the comment section, you can contact me there. But with this last pathway, you apply directly on the NHS website as a volunteer, and that's how you get in that way. You still need to go through the normal pre-employment checks, normal processes and all of that, but it is possible and they do recruit for that. So again, I hope you found this helpful. This was just more giving you an overview of those pathways that are available in the UK that aren't always obvious, and ways that you can get to the NHS, get exposure, get insider information that will help you to get permanent positions, because of the exposure that you get. So again, I hope you found this helpful. Obviously, check out this video that I've linked up right here with more information. But guess what? Hit subscribe below and share this with your loved ones. Check this out here.